Still a bit like, maybe should have been shot out a while ago. For now, though, not bothering. Feels like Secret was sniffing at first at that rush as we spoke about, Tim, but once they lost the one man, it was like, yeah, never mind now. Savage is in a spot of hot bother here. He's trying his best. We'll get it down, but is it enough? A 2 versus 3 breaking out. Mowgli's found Maya as well, a player that I mentioned we should watch out for, but Neska shuts him down and finds one more at the bottom of main. Nesk on for a 3K.
Is Nesk going to have one of those days? You never know if it will be or not from him. We know that in a site for Noah to use through sight that I was talking about from that half roof, but it's only the mirror window. They haven't got a big breach on that wall, so it maybe does offer a little bit of wiggle room for Liquid to be able to move around here and make a bit of a nuisance of themselves. They kind of got everything in position. Beautiful, but Resets is there to cut him down.
Great
However,
play.
the Monty pushes forward. 1v2.
So beautifully executed by Secret here to force us into a 2 versus 1, but he's got to win it, but no! The Monty loses it out. Savage has gone aggressive and may well pay the price here. Instead, Noah steps across and gets his second of the round to get Secret over the finish line. But again, got to toss out, and Savage is really being the spearhead for this team. Of course, on the Monty, that's what you look to do. Here we go. Mowgli's in there. He wants this one. For a second there, I wonder what was going on, but has got a bit too keen here. Has not tucked himself into safety and may well pay the price for it. Not going to get recovered. Maya finishing him off.
4 versus 4, and it starts to crumble for Secret here as Maya manages to get another ask onto Noah. They tried that aggression, they tried to just take what was given to them, but it seems to have been a little bit of a trap. Diaz manages to find that final headshot.
Bit of team play, and now he's got the freedom to do whatever he wants, and he gets a freebie. Oh, man.
Beautiful from Nesk and Maya, and the reason that Maya's moved across the dock there as well is if they do manage to get the fire arrows onto Nesk up at the top there, then you just keep stimming him, and you can stim him through that fire and he can survive it. So great teamwork from them, cutting down 2. Glaz and Capitao, 2 of the most important operators on side for Team Secret, and it's kind of back to the drawing board. Yes, they've got the kill onto Nesk, but you've still got Maya up there who's taking his place. Still don't have catwalk control. This is going to be super tough from Secret for here on in.
They've invested everything in trying to make this happen. Look, 2 players pushing on forwards now, and sure enough, the nade into gunplay is what you want to see. But Tim, arguably they've left this one a bit late, and look at that, resets into another, a C4 in back pocket. Adrian and Noah to push on forwards here. Only got to find a couple more shots and he is toast, but he'll get away with this one and keep himself going. A C4 in back pocket, Tim. He could ruin the round here for them if they're not too careful. Up and over the top, doesn't find one. A bit of chip damage, but Noah rounds into red. Gets the kill they need. Secret getting...
And don't let them get those early kills.
For now, at least, it feels like for Liquid, it's going to be a case of trying to hold on as best you can. Secret pulling this back to a 3-3 will feel like robbery from Liquid. It felt like they should have had the last round, maybe even 1 or 2 others along the journey. Instead, everything turns towards that Secret side to bring things all square and even here. Plant now going down. They've got the cover in place, ready and waiting. One more comes through. Noah onto a double in the round. Waiting for one more. Diaz, they know exactly where he is. If they wanted, they can make this plant happen again. In fact, it's already been stuck down. No problem at all. The 3 versus 1 in the post plant. This one's toast. Diaz there for the trade.
Adrian just holding position, going to take out that drone, knows that there's a potential push coming from construction and that's going to manifest itself inside of logistics, which it does. He can't make any challenge at all as Maya comes around the corner with the shotgun, finds the kill, going to flip to the Vendetta, cannot get another. As Savage, again, doing big work for Team Secret to keep them in this one. 30 seconds left to go and surely too much to ask. And it's going to be Ask that finds that final kill. And Team Liquid, they get themselves their first attack.
Use it, it'd be Savage that you'd expect to do it, but of course, he's trying to keep himself busy below. Had the opportunity maybe to deny the wall, but he's not going to get away with it. Right idea too, there is a player outside the doorway. Mowgli's found 2, finally gets punished, but the damage has been done, Tim. Maya's offline, Nesk offline. The 2 big fragments for this team in this game removed.
Savage is battling underneath as well, trying to get himself back safely to site, which he is able to do. That's a really big play from the Vigil because it gives them numbers now. Adrian manages to find Resets and Secret. They're starting to run away with this round. It's 4 versus 1. Ask is inside, but it is a lot to ask. He manages to find 1. Can he find any more? Super low health. 15 seconds left to go. Secret, they've just abandoned site. They know that they don't need to give him opportunities. It's going to be Savage from underneath. For a second there, Ask dared to dream, but...
Pushing in here largely, I won't say by himself, but waiting. He's going to have to force his way through, Tim.
Remember what I said about the hard breach charges as well. They've had to bring 3 operators, so they've lost a bunch of utility that they might otherwise have. With the resets, manages to get a double. Savage does pick Maya up somehow. Team Liquid are doing this, Des. They're brute forcing their way into sight.
Man, if Noah turns this around, he's a hero. Has found one more, but he's on for 4. Got to get one more at the bottom of main stairs. Won't find it, and that Monty is now going to step back, and there is very little that Noah can do about this. Information being fed by the Monty. One more was at the bottom of the stairs, but he's got up top, Tim. This one's looking pretty cooked. He's got to try and win something if he can. Doesn't even know where the diffuser is at this point, Tim. At least now he knows. But I don't see how he wins this.
Hang on a minute, he's just prevented the Monty from having too much of a direct impact. Nesk is going to have to drop here. He wants the fight with Nesk because he's on such low health, but Nesk has just shown why he's so good at this game. What that to come out on top. They always seem to find that extra kill. Mowgli has been down. At the minute, he's just living intel. He's just a camera that's giving information. He will be taken out by Nesk. 2 versus 2, but the onus here is on Liquid to get into sight, to put the diffuser down. They've got time to work with, but right now they're just embattled, they're embroiled in this gunfight. They can't move anywhere without Secret challenging them.
Problem is, Liquid pulled the trigger in that first push without even using a phone call from the Dokkaebi, so a little bit misaligned here, but it's the shots that count in the end here. Ness can't win against Savage. DS with it all to do, still with the diffuser in back pocket. Goo mines scattered all around him. This one feels a little bit hopeless. But he's got 35 seconds to pull off some magic. The new boy on the team coming back to his home region after playing in NA for years. He's got a chance to keep his team in this, but it does feel a little bit hopeless, Tim.
Secret are just waiting. They know that they can just hold on, force him to play the diffuser, play for time. There you go. He will eventually have to show himself, and Savage cuts him down when he does.
That's giving away that the bottom stairs has been lost them, and here we go, this push on 4, but the Goyo canisters go out, Doom into 1, Aska in the trade, but Savage will not stop today. Noah into another, it might be back and forth, Tim, but there's only 2 left on side for Liquid.
Noah's very low health at the minute, needs to be careful of that, also pinged out by those Grim Bees. However, Adrian is there on the cover, manages to find Maya Diaz onto the low health Noah, but 2 versus 1. Adrian and Savage holding on, Toxic Babe canisters coming out just to prevent that passage of play from happening, to prevent him pushing, and that moves him into position for Savage to cut him down from Church, and Team Secret take themselves a big day 1 win against Team Liquid.
Can only imagine how much that means to these boys, and look, you can see it on the screen yourself how excited they are about it.
It is only